What's going on, y'all? We're here at the Let's Be Real Podcast. I am your co-host, Michael Parham.
And I'm your co-host, Dante.
Coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee.
Cashville, Tennessee.
615 zone. In this podcast, we're going to be talking everything from the NFL, NBA, college basketball, college football.
We're also going to be covering our local athletes. So, Thursday night hoops, Friday night lights.
But today is a special episode. I didn't bring my cover in here for nothing. I think I should put it on him, y'all, because he ain't going to see no Super Bowl.
Come on, tighten up.
He ain't going to see no Super Bowl no time soon anyway. But man, like I said, we got a special episode for y'all today. I love that our first episode is going to be the Super Bowl edition, man. Let's get straight into it, man.
Let's be real. Kick your feet up and say how you feel. Need a re-up, just slide to the Ville. Cause you know P&D, they keeping it real. Some of these players been being too chill. Stand on that trash that you talking, let's hear it. Say he the best, here to test, no I'm curious. Tap in as soon as you wake like a cure. Said they shooting like Kuwait, can't be serious. Yeah, gotta see it for myself if I'm hearing it. Yeah, put a baller on the shelf, make some cereal. Yeah, cause they say that he the king like Imperial. Need it. Watch your game, make your play for the weekend. Then come listen and hear what they thinking. Him and Mike got the mic, let them speak then. Let's be real. Yeah, let's be real. Yeah, I am not worried about what you've been talking and how you boys feel.
Today, the first episode of the Let's Be Real Podcast. Probably gonna be one of my favorite episodes. Had a very big event on Sunday, just Super Bowl edition. And in that event, man, you already know, man, my boys, we got ahead and took home Lombardi number 2. So I didn't think that game was gonna go the way it went, and I'm pretty sure nobody did. With those high octane offenses, I just didn't see the Bucs holding them to no touchdowns, man.
Not at all, man. They had the Cheetah, Travis Kelce, a.k.a. White Chocolate, Patty Mahomes. They didn't get in the end zone. No one would have thought that. It's crazy, right? I seen a crazy bet about it, too. Like $10 to $1,000 or something like that if they didn't score a touchdown. But
yeah, like I said, you'd have never told me before that game. In the first game, their offense was very explosive right out the gate. First quarter, They scored 17 in the first quarter of the first matchup, not the Super Bowl, but earlier this year.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill had 173 yards, but it was obvious from the get-go that Todd Bowles had a new game plan, and he was not going to let Tyreek Hill beat him. But even outside of what the defense did, first thing that I wanted to get into about the game, man, I think one of the key points and one of the big reasons the Bucs won was Mahomes just missing both tackles on both sides. He didn't have his left tackle or his right tackle. And it definitely showed throughout the game.
Yeah, I remember at my house, like 2 weeks before that, the AFC Championship, when you realized the tackles that got hurt, he was like, hey, that's going to be trouble for them, man, knowing you guys got them dynamic pass rushers on the side. Boy, them backups couldn't block nothing.
They couldn't block anything at all. I seen a crazy stat the other night after the game. They said Patrick Mahomes ran for a total of 497 yards behind the line of scrimmage away from defenders. Like, I'm not talking about he ran down the field. He was running the wrong way, 497 yards throughout the game.
He ran from Pierre, Paul, and the other guy that's 400. Shaq Barrett, 497 yards away from him. That's more passing yards in the air.
With turf toe.
With turf toe.
We could see early on in the game. I also thought them missing those linemen, I could tell the Chiefs scheme itself was a little bit off. It wasn't their normal high octane go all the way down the field. They were trying to get very screens and quick stuff. There was a few plays. There was a play early on where they blocked 9 guys. But sometimes you're gonna max protect. Like the Titans do that a lot, and a lot of teams do it. Tampa Bay does it, but you don't see the Chiefs blocking 6 or 7 guys on the regular. They have so many weapons. And Mahomes is just such a good quarterback, and he's so mobile.
He actually scrambled on that play. I think picked up the first down.
So. Yeah, he did. But he's such a mobile quarterback that normally they don't have to block 6 guys every time or anything like that. But like I said, it was plays with Travis Kelce. Their leading receiver was blocking, and he wasn't even going out on routes. So, missing those tackles definitely was pretty big, and it just allowed the front four for, like you said, man, that front four is mean. You got Shaq Barrett on one side. Jason Pierre-Paul, both of those guys have been to Pro Bowl. You got Big Sue in the middle. He's been to a Pro Bowl before. Vita Vea, very young player.
I know one thing, though. Them 2 backups that was in, not playing next year.
Not playing next year. Can they play for the Titans?
No,
Tell LeWan needs a backup.
No, he don't. We don't want them.
You don't want them?
We're going to send them to the Ravens or something. Shout out to my boy Ant.
But, I mean, like I said, missing those linemen were very big. And, I mean, it showed up in the numbers at the end of the day. Patrick Mahomes, usually he averages 140 yards at halftime. But in this game here, he was 9 for 19 with 67 yards. Like, that's almost
It's
Lamar
tough.
Jackson-esque passing numbers.
It's tough
at
when you say
halftime.
hut and then you got to run, like you said, 497 yards backwards.
Yeah, I mean,
That's tough.
I think personally Mahomes did the best he could do with what he had. I mean, there was plenty of plays. I mean, not even early on in the game, but later in the game, like, there was 2 plays in a row. They said that was probably 2 of the most amazing incompletions that you will ever see. I mean,
I agree.
he ran back, then ran to the right sideline, got tripped, and, like, did the dodgeball, face plant throw, and it hit a guy in the helmet.
It looked like he was really playing backyard football with the Mississippi rule on 3.
Yeah, right. Basically,
2 Mississippi. They was back in the backfield getting at him. As a quarterback, I ain't never played quarterback, but I wouldn't want to play like that either. I don't care how good you are. You got 200-pounders coming at you trying to kill you. It's a lot of pressure, man. Definitely when you don't trust your blind side.
Yeah. And I mean, something else that I think was pretty big while we're talking about drops early on in that game, Tyreek Hill. I mean, tough catch, but like I always say, in the big games, I expect my big players to make big plays in the big games.
Tyreek
I mean,
catch that.
he's got to make that play. Well, somebody's got to make a play.
It hit him in the helmet.
And
There's no excuses.
And then the next drive, Travis Kelce on 3rd down hit the ball hit him right in the hands, and he ended up dropping that pass too. So I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, you got people like Travis Kelce's been talked about now as maybe one of the best tight ends to play football. Tyreek Hill, I'm starting to think. I mean, he had a bad day, but I'm starting to think Tyreek. We had that conversation. I think Tyreek Hill might be the best receiver in the NFL. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, he's just fast and all of that." Well, guard him. It's not. I mean, it's easy to do when you have that pass rush and they're missing 2 of their best linemen. But if they're at full strength, good luck guarding him for an entire game.
Let's be real.
All right, man. We'll go ahead and move on to our second segment. Man, I know you want to talk about this. My Twitter was buzzing for sure. I'm not the biggest Brady fan, but anytime Brady's in a football game, you know the thing is gonna come up, man. The thing is gonna come up. I'm pretty sure you got a lot to say about it, so I'm gonna ask you this.
Everybody know these dudes.
Hey, how big of a role do you think the refs played in this game?
Everybody on my Twitter feed was thinking like me. They knew the fix was in. They knew their flag was boiling up in their ref pocket. So 3rd down, Brady dropped back. Was it a bad pass? Drop back incomplete. They kick. They don't kick. What does the ref do? Oh, Brady, I need this touchdown from you, sir. Season up his flag with a little seasoning salt. Boom, throw it. Now let's break down the play. 5-yard route, Mike Evans, big guy, right?
Yeah, corner gonna play the sticks. They know it's coming.
Corner gonna play the sticks. So we backing up. Boom. Mike Evans turned around. The DB has one hand here and one hand here. Now I didn't see Mike Evans get pulled or he didn't stop his route.
I'm gonna let you get your take, then I'm gonna get mine. Go ahead.
He didn't stop his route at all. I didn't see no jersey being pulled. I didn't see nothing. I just seen corner on him like white on rice, stank on doo-doo. That's what I seen. What we see from the flag. You get another chance, Brady. And as a DB, you like.
That was only the first one.
Okay, that's the first one. As a DB, you like, just give and take. I don't know. I just get it back next play. I feel like I played good D. The ref didn't. Okay, cool. Boom. Another flag. And I'm like, I'm there. I play DB. I know. I'm there. He touching me. I can't touch him. If you touch me as a receiver, can I touch you back?
Yeah, you can touch me. Yeah.
All right. So now I'm there. Another flag. So now as a DB, I'm like, I can't touch him. The whole defense, they losing momentum now. Like, what can we do out here? I feel like those 2 pass interference, one was a hold, one was a pass interference that led to touchdowns or a field goal. It changed the momentum of the game, man.
I'm gonna say this. I thought the Mike Evans one. I thought it was a good call. I mean, he played the sticks like he was supposed to do. The only thing that I saw on the play, like I told you, I thought he had his arms around him. No, his arms were not connected around him.
He was not saucy.
But he definitely, you can't hook a guy and you cannot have your arms around him. I mean, the second one.
So he can't touch him?
I can touch you, but I can't put my arms around you. That's just like if I wrap this arm around you, come in front, and swat the ball down, what they call it, and every time, you're going to call PI every time.
He was here, hand on the back.
That ain't what I saw.
It wasn't no pulling or nothing.
That ain't what I saw. I mean, I guess you
You know
say,
that's the Brady call, man.
Nah,
you know the ref season that thing up.
Let's go ahead.
Thing up. Throw it at him.
Since we're in the mood for fixing things, let's fix a few things the Chiefs could have done.
Another one. The one I thought was cheating for real in the end zone. Honey Badger beat him to the spot. Mike Evans ran through Honey Badger. They called it on Honey Badger. Did he impede his route? And the ball was in the stands. It was a terrible throw.
Nah, the ball didn't go through the stands.
It should have. It was high. It would have been. I don't think he could have caught it. I don't think it was uncatchable.
Mike Evans is all of 6'5".
I don't think it was uncatchable.
I mean, from my point, I mean that call was a little bang bang. It can be called. It cannot be called.
It's the Super Bowl.
But I did see. I mean, you can cut a wide receiver off. Like I can cut your route off. But what I can do is go into your chest. And I did see. I felt like the Honey Badger. He didn't jam him, but he did go into his chest a little bit and stopped his route. So I mean,
like the Honey Badger read where he was going, beat him there, and Mike Evans ran into him.
But before we got there, we're talking about fixing things. So let's talk about the field goal. I mean, was that a bad call? The guys lined up all sides. That's a mental mistake by the Chiefs, man.
That's just
that same thing goes back to the playoffs the other year when he lost to Brady. When Patrick Mahomes lost to Brady the first time.
That was bad.
D4 jumps outside.
That was bad.
I mean, you definitely can in a Super Bowl game. You just can't have mental mistakes like that.
But them PI calls.
When the referee starts to call a lot of stuff consecutively like that. I mean, as a defender, you definitely
lose momentum.
Yeah, you just lose momentum. You kind of lose a rhythm for the game and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't think we can sit here and blame this entire game on the refs. Or I mean, I feel like
sports, momentum.
Momentum changed it a little bit, but like I said, there were some things the Chiefs did as well that didn't help their cause, man. On that same drive, I mean, we talked about this while the game was going on, and when he first did it, I said, "Oh man, Andy Reid's really calling those timeouts right there." Yeah. I can understand the first one because I think they stopped him a little bit, like it was like second and kind of mid to long.
Right.
But I mean, after they called the second one, we started gaining the little yards. I was like, I don't know what Andy Reid is doing, but at the same time,
that's Andy Reid.
Yeah,
he's been there since day one. That's his MO.
Yeah, you're down 14-6. You got Mahomes. You got
he know the refs ain't on the side, so they got to try to get the ball back and score. The refs taking the momentum from him, so why not try to get a momentum swing before the half?
But that was a very, very big timeout call. Like I said, I'm pretty sure if we were to go ask Andy Reid right now, like, hey, would you call those timeouts again?
For sure.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna call them again.
Absolutely.
But hindsight is 20/20, and he shouldn't have called the timeouts because the timeouts end up saving some time on the clock. Brady and the Bucks go down. They end up scoring right before the half to go up 21-6.
Yeah. Then the Chiefs come out and get a field goal after, which would have been better. What would have been 14-9?
Yeah, it would have been 14-9.
That's a whole different ball game. But when you got them weapons like that and Patty Mahomes, you got to take that time out.
I think something else that we didn't cover either with the Chiefs having some mishaps early on was their special teams. Their special teams was like their punter dropped the ball one time.
Oh my God, sunshine!
Then the second time he kicked it almost to the first row. I think the punt was like 20 yards.
Sunshine out there looking like a Maplewood kicker, man.
Right? Yeah, young Wag out there.
Wag probably.
Wag. Yeah, Wag definitely was gonna boot that. But I mean, I think he averaged I think the punter averaged 35 yards a punt yesterday, which is very mediocre for an NFL punter. That's terrible.
That's terrible. That's below mediocre.
But I mean, a good point that you brought up the other day is that do the Chiefs punt? Do they punt a lot?
Yeah, they don't.
They don't punt the ball.
I think before that game, they only punted twice the whole postseason. So it's like
he don't got a lot of reps.
He has
the Super Bowl.
Man,
he's shaking.
he out there with the Brucey fingers. That boy right there. Hey man, field position. Tom Brady. He gonna take advantage every time. I think he was, 3 tutties, no interceptions. Well, he did throw a pick, but it was ref did on one of them season salt flags. I got your back, Brady.
Excuses.
He said, Brady up high.
Let's be real.
All right, man. I think it's about time we get into the topic everybody loves to talk about. Everybody wants to figure out who the GOAT is, so it's about time that we cover it. I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes, before this game, there were premature talks of
very premature.
Him almost, kind of catching up with Tom Brady a little bit. But I think after this game,
boy got 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, he has 7. And I mean, I was a big Peyton Manning guy when I was young, and I tried to hold on to that as long as I could. But over these past couple years, man, Brady, time after time, is just
proving us wrong.
I mean, after the Super Bowl win on Sunday, I just got to give it to him at this point. I cannot. I mean, you can't take away that greatness. 7 Super Bowls, gone 10 times, man. It's remarkable. And the route he took this year, man. Let's talk about that.
Boy.
Like I've never heard of anybody going through that type of.
Drew Brees, Hall of Fame quarterback. Aaron Rodgers,
GOAT discussion.
GOAT discussion. Hall of Fame quarterback. Patrick Mahomes,
GOAT discussion.
Premature GOAT discussion, but definitely a Hall of Fame quarterback. Dude, he took all of them down. Like, that's
that was
legendary.
Remarkable. I mean, and the way he did it, I mean, I would say against that Packers game, that wasn't his best showing.
It wasn't his best showing, but he got it done.
He did what he had to do.
I feel like if the Packers would have went for it on that 4th down, maybe we would be talking about.
I mean, we definitely, that was.
But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I could not believe that they kicked the field goal in that situation. But yeah,
gave the ball back to TB.
Yeah,
come on now.
But I mean, Tom Brady time after time, like I said, he just gets it done, man. His numbers yesterday, they weren't just like crazy numbers, but that's the thing about Tom Brady.
Efficient,
he just finds a way to win. He threw for 201 yards, 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, no INTs.
Which, I mean,
that's winning football.
That's winning football. But those numbers don't just, jump out like, oh, this guy's remarkable. But, I mean, he did what he had to do to win the game, man. And like I said, and then, I'm pretty sure you love to talk about how some people like to say you're lucky, like Brady's lucky and stuff like that.
Yeah, he be getting
But 7 Super Bowls, man, 7 Super Bowl wins, 5 Super Bowl MVPs. I don't care how much luck you have.
Lucked up on 3.
I mean, the only one I really think about every time is that Seattle Seahawks.
He actually lucked up on 2. Let's be real.
You got the hardest running back in the league at the time, Marshawn Lynch. You're on the goal line and you're throwing slant routes.
They didn't want Marshawn to do that interview and talk crazy after he won the Super Bowl. They wanted to put the golden child, Sierra husband. That's what they wanted. That's one he lucked up on. And in D4, what was he doing? Brady threw an interception, right?
Yeah, he threw an interception on that play, but D4 was outside.
That's game. Over with.
It goes back to those mental mistakes, but it's just every time they get to a game like that, it just seems as Tom Brady's team, they just don't make those mental mistakes. They just do what they have to. I mean, I wanted to talk about the Chiefs.
Bill Belichick was Tom the whole time.
I don't want to discredit. I don't want to say Tom Brady definitely had a big impact on that, but I'm not going to take that away from Belichick because Belichick definitely. He also had to put players in positions.
The Patriots was flagged pretty often this season without Tom under the center.
I mean, that's a big loss. But I did think the Chiefs' defense, they didn't play terrible. I mean, they had their pass interferences here and there. But, I mean, for the most part, I mean, like Mike Evans had 1 catch for 31 yards. Chris Godwin had 2 catches for 9 yards. Those are 2 of our top guys. But then that goes back to Brady. Brady's never been one to just throw it to one guy.
No, he spread the love, man.
Gronk had 2 catches the entire postseason before that game.
Really?
2 catches for 9 yards. The entire postseason before the Super Bowl.
And then he comes to Super Bowl, gets 2 touchdowns. 6
catches, 2 touchdowns, 60-something yards. AB been banged up in the playoffs. He came out 5 catches.
AB,
big
great
catches.
Comeback story.
Yeah, that was definitely. I mean,
the storylines for the Super Bowl is pretty dope this year.
Leonard Fournette as well.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette, great comeback story.
But at the end of the day, like I said, man, I just think at this point, Tom Brady, he the GOAT, man. And tell somebody else. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is young and he's got a lot of career ahead of him. He definitely can start. He can continue to chase him, but right now that separation.
So what is Brady? 7-3?
7-3. And when it comes to him and Mahomes, he's beaten Mahomes now twice in some of the biggest games. He's beaten him in the AFC Championship 2 years ago. Then he beat him in the Super Bowl this year.
Mahomes Super Bowl, I don't know. He might be Pandemic Patty in the making.
Patty? I don't know about that.
He might be Pandemic Patty. Last year in the Super Bowl, he was very subpar, bro, until he did the famous meme. Tyreek is down there somewhere. Threw it 80 yards. Tyreek makes an amazing play, and sparks plug jump starts the offense. This year, he tried it. Tyreek just didn't catch it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, man, I think Patrick Mahomes did the best he could with this game. I mean, I did see some areas for growth. I mean, I didn't play quarterback in the NFL, but the run game was definitely successful.
He could have checked out of them passes and hit more runs.
I mean, Tom Brady definitely, I mean, not Tom Brady, but Todd Bowles definitely, he came out and said that, I mean, we played double high safety 82% of the defensive snaps, which means we had two people in the back. I mean, they were shadowing Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, wherever they went. So, I mean, we have a great front four, but it's going to be hard for them to come down and stop the run if they're going to be playing over.
I see another crazy stat. This year, against the blitz, Patrick Mahomes had 17 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. But I don't know. I feel like...
But that was the thing in that game. We didn't blitz them. We were sending forward. I mean, we're just getting pressure before. I mean, there were some plays where we sent Devin White, and talk about Devin White. Devin White had a fantastic game.
Definitely going to be a Hall of Famer one day.
Had a fantastic playoffs, man.
Dude is a player that you would create on Madden.
He really is. I mean, he's a linebacker that's bigger than the running backs, but then he's faster than them too. Yeah. So, I mean, he definitely, I mean, like I said, I think Patrick Mahomes did whatever he could, but at the end of the day, man, it was just too much. But
I believe the GOAT, well, Brady won me over with the GOAT debate is his role, bro. Like, I don't think they talking about that enough. He went through Rodgers all the way. Went to New Orleans, won. Went up to Green Bay, it was freezing, won. Then he had the home game in Tampa, but he still had to beat Patty Mahomes in that high-octane offense.
That's remarkable. And I mean, when we played the Packers earlier this year, and we fared fairly well against them. We beat them pretty bad the first time. But the Saints, you said that earlier this year. You talked a lot of stuff. We were 7-5 at one point, man. I mean, we talk sports all the time. He's in my ear. He's like, man, actually, we're saying, can the Titans make the Super Bowl? Can the Bucs make the Super Bowl? He's like, there's absolutely no way Tampa Bay is going to make it to the Super Bowl. We can't even make it past the Saints, which, I mean, we played them first game of the year. And they
did y'all
second time we played them, they beat us pretty bad. But like I was trying to tell him, we were 7-5, but this is a team with a new quarterback who's playing with new wide receivers in a new system, first time in his career. No preseason games.
Right.
No real preseason workouts and stuff like that. So I knew it was only a matter of time for things. Just we had all that talent. It just had to.
Brady, he constantly was saying we haven't played our best game yet.
We played good in spurts. I've seen spurts throughout the year where we played dominant football. It was just the mental lapses, just like little small. I remember one play specifically when Antonio Brown first came to us. Well, like we tried to go tempo, and he's like calling the play out to all the receivers, and then Antonio Brown literally like, what am I supposed to do? And then like Tom Brady literally had to walk all the way over there and like tell him what the call was. I mean, when you have stuff like that going on, it's very big, and it's gonna be hard to win when you're not clicking. In a team like the Saints, who's been in the deep playoff runs for the past 4 or 5 years, man, it's gonna be hard to be the team that has that type of cohesiveness when you're not clicking on all cylinders. But like you said,
I thought my Titans, we had a chance though. We did. We just didn't have TV. We really had a chance, dog. But that's another.
This is a Titans fan. Every offseason.
That's another episode.
Every first game of the season. This is already here. Titans fan for you, man. It's been a year since they was founded. Since they was founded.
Literally, though.
Delusional.
The first year, what did we do? So
y'all lost the Super Bowl.
But it's been our year, though.
But did y'all lose the Super Bowl?
But it's been our year.
Have y'all won one?
Who was the yard away? Shout out KD.
You played dominoes with him.
I did.
He beat you.
We was a yard away, but hey, back to this year's Super Bowl. Brady.
He's the GOAT.
Hats off to him. He is the luckiest quarterback of all time. The GOAT.
GOAT.
Nah, he the GOAT. He the GOAT, man. True winner, man. And I seen someone say he's the greatest athlete of all time.
That's kind of debatable.
I said
it depends on what you're talking about right there. Are you saying he's the greatest winner in sports of all time, or are you saying he's the most athletic because we all know.
No, that's too far.
Let's pull up his combine pick.
Oh, man.
Dad bod for sure.
That boy look like a piece of bologna with legs.
Let's be real.
So, Pete, given that you've been a Bucks fan since you was J-Hop, how different do you think this team is that just won a Super Bowl from last year's team?
This is actually something I talked about the other day. I mean, even in the playoffs and throughout the year, this team last year, we weren't the greatest team in the world, but this team had a lot of potential from the get-go. I think Brady gets a lot of credit, which he does deserve a lot of credit. It's Tom Brady, and he made a big difference, obviously, in managing the game. But this team definitely was really good. I mean, they had really good potential last year. Is what I'm trying to say. We went 7-9, but we lost 6 games by 7 points or less, and I think that's big.
7-9, but lost six of those 9 games.
6 of the 9 games by 7 points or less.
7 points or less.
And the big stat for me with this, even though Jameis had a crazy year throwing the ball, he threw for 5,000 yards last year. Threw for 33 touchdowns last year. But he also
get to his
yeah, but it's Jameis at the end of the day. You know, he's a gunslinger. He's been that way since we got him, and he threw 30 interceptions last year, and he also had 12 fumbles. So we lost.
Get to his real stat that we missed the 30 for 30.
Yeah, he's 30 for 30. But that's what I'm saying, man. This team went 7-9, and their quarterback gave the ball away over 40 times. So this team definitely had. I don't think Jameis has the poise to win a Super Bowl yet in his career, but this team was definitely playoff capable. But I think something that was good and something that a lot of people don't realize is that our defense, this was literally the same defense as last year outside of adding Antoine Winfield, which Antoine Winfield was a rookie this year. And, I mean, I think he definitely exceeded his expectations. I thought he was going to be good when we first drafted him. His dad played in the league. I thought he was going to be good, but like I said, he ended up I think he finished 3rd in tackles behind Devin White and Levante David. Those are 2 Pro Bowls. Yeah, 2 Pro Bowl. One should have been Levante David been a Pro Bowl in the past. Devin White should have been in the Pro Bowl.
Devin White definitely
got snubbed.
Pro Bowl player, man.
Man, Bobby Wagner got in the Pro Bowl this year. Devin White had better stats in every category besides passes defended. He had 6 more sacks than Bobby Wagner and didn't make the Pro Bowl. But you know how that goes. And
big name, man.
Big name. You've been in the Super Bowl and all of that. But I can tell you going forward, Devin White probably be in the Super Bowl. Not Super Bowl, but I hope Super Bowl. With the Pro Bowl every year. I mean, I was telling you, I love to watch the NFL mic'd up. And after one play, he was playing, Panthers in our division plays Christian McCaffrey twice a year. Yeah. After one play, Christian McCaffrey tells him, man, you're the best in the business.
And that's from one of the best in the business.
And that's one of the best running backs in the business, telling that linebacker that, man, I think you're the best in the business.
You think he'd catch McCaffrey? Will McCaffrey break out?
For sure. I think he's faster than that. He's probably faster than McCaffrey.
You think he's faster than
McCaffrey's quick. McCaffrey isn't like beeline straight fast, but he's definitely
I love to see that.
Agility as far as making sharp cuts and stuff like that.
Is he catching Derrick Henry? Tighten up.
Who?
Devin White.
He's faster than Derrick Henry. Come on now.
Head up. Who winning?
Devin White gonna get him down. He gonna get him down.
You better call his twin David on the other side. Offensive player of the year is coming through there.
Yeah, he ran for 40 yards in the playoffs too. But anyway,
2,040 yards whole season.
Yeah, but like I was saying, this team is definitely the exact same core. That D line is the same from last year. Vita Vea, his second year got a lot better. That secondary, man, they played pretty big in this post. I think Sean Murphy-Bunting, he definitely showed up. He had 2 interceptions. And I mean, it wasn't just that he took on some of the bigger guys. I thought Jamel Dean's one of our outside corners. He did a fantastic job. Carlton Davis, he didn't get exposed this time like he did in the first game. And I love just the swagger that our defense plays with. Levante David after the coin toss, you said it. You could tell when players hype. He's skipping back to the sideline.
He ain't walk. He's skipping everywhere.
And then Devin White, every time he hits you, he gonna let you know. Even if he don't hit you, if he in the vicinity, he's gonna let you know I was right there.
He got that confidence, that swagger about him.
Even Antoine Winfield to be a rookie, man, in the Super Bowl. And I mean,
God.
Hey, look, and they were all mad about it, but I mean that comes with my
He got
dad.
his payback.
My dad told me a long time ago, man, if you're gonna talk that talk, you better be ready to walk that walk. Because if you don't do that, man, they just know they gonna come. If you talk that talk and you don't back it up, they gonna come for you. And as we all know, Tyreek Hill loves to throw the deuces up when he burning folks, hit the back.
Which he does a lot.
So I mean, I definitely, if I'm Antoine Winfield in that situation, I'm definitely might get back on the Super Bowl stage as well.
It ain't like he locked them up.
Yeah, but
I feel like
31-9. That's locking up enough for me.
But like personally though, like
no, he's a safety. He's playing over the top. That ain't his job. His job is to make sure he don't get over the top.
That was a bad ball. I can see if he ran foot for foot, step for step.
It was bad.
Oh no! Then he did like that. It was a jump ball. He just made a play on it. But hey, do you, man?
But like I said, at the end of the day, this team is almost identical as last year, especially on the offensive side. I mean, you add Brady and you add Grunt too, which are definitely big name guys. Both of those guys Hall of Famers, both of those Super Bowl champions. Yeah. But I mean, outside of that, you got Mike Evans, been a Buck his whole career. Chris Godwin. You got AB was a new addition. We all know Antonio Brown was once considered.
Leonard Fournette, new addition.
Yeah, Antonio Brown was considered one of the best wide receivers in football. Leonard Fournette, but Rojo led us in rushing this year. He was 20 yards away from 1,000. He got banged up.
Leonard came in big in the Super Bowl though.
And just the playoffs in general. Ronald Jones, he struggled with injuries late in the season. He hurt his quad. And I mean, he ended up working his way back into. I mean, he's such a talented back. He's going to get his too. But Leonard Fournette showed, and I definitely think going to be some teams calling Leonard Fournette after this year. I mean, he may not get like max money.
For his payday. You could tell he was hungry for that money.
Which was crazy because at the beginning of the season, and I said it before. I mean, we drafted Keyshawn Vaughn, who's straight, Nashville legend, which I was glad we did. But then we brought in Leonard Fournette. Then we brought in LaShawn McCoy. I mean, our running back locker room was crowded. It was so much talent. And there was times where Keyshawn was, getting his opportunity. LaShawn McCoy getting his opportunity. Rojo was starting from the jump.
And Rojo was there last year, right?
Yeah. And Leonard Fournette was frustrated. I mean, he had some like healthy scratches early on in the season where he was there. He just didn't play. I don't know if it was mental or what was going on.
I think because he was dropping them swing passes. Brady loves to hit the running back.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I think overall, like I said, this team definitely had the potential to be a better team. And I mean, you brought in somebody that's been there 9 times before this year.
Yeah,
he made it happen.
It's easy, I ain't gonna say easy, but when you playing against somebody like famous, like Jameis, the DB, you're gonna be famous.
You're gonna be famous.
Jameis will make you famous.
Jameis gonna make you famous. I would love to play safety against him. I'm gonna get one. I would get one bad ball. I know
just
that.
Sit there. Jameis gonna make me famous.
He gonna look me dead in the eyes and he be like, nah. But it comes when you're a gunslinger, man. You trust your wide receivers. You're gonna make some throws. Sometimes Jameis just makes a little too many.
Jameis put a tutty on y'all.
Yeah, he did. He got him a little tutty in.
Jameis put a tutty on y'all.
He got him an L too.
He did do that.
He got him an L too.
So that's the difference between this year and last year. Tom Brady, huh?
Basically.
It's a big difference. It's like when LeBron goes.
Yeah. Catastrophe. They go from 60 and 20 to 19 and 60.
Let's be real.
Alright, y'all, we're gonna move on to our Let's Be Real segment, Super Bowl edition, where I'm gonna throw my guy right here some quick, bizarre Super Bowl facts, and he gotta tell me, is it real or is it cap? You ready?
Ready.
Alright. Big Ben was the youngest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes just got done winning the Super Bowl. He was I think it was around 24, so I'm gonna say that's big cap. I'm gonna say Patrick Mahomes the youngest.
Nah, it's the real, man. Big Ben was 23 years old.
Oh, my dad would be hot at me.
340 days, man. All right, let's move it on. Big Ben was the youngest guy, man. Let's move it on. Dallas forced 9 turnovers against the Bills in Super Bowl 37.
9 turnovers?
9 turnovers. Is that the real or is that cap?
I'm going to say that's the real, I believe. I watched the documentary on the Bills, and I definitely think that's real.
That's the real. They definitely had that defense back then. I don't know what they're doing today, but it's neither here nor there. Let's move it on. Russell Wilson was recorded running at a top speed of 21 miles per hour in the Super Bowl versus the Patriots. Is that the real or is that cap?
Russell got some wheels on him. He can get away
Russell
from
do
some
got
guys.
some wheels on him.
I'm gonna say that's the real.
But that is big cap.
Big cap.
He is not that fast. That's
I would
big
love
cap.
to see him running a straight line and then clocking, but
I'm sure he probably could.
in game, that's kind of it's
in
kind of tough to
game,
do that.
he ain't Lamar. All right, let's move it on. Fewest points scored in the Super Bowl was 2 points by the Dolphins in 1971. Is that the real or is that big cap?
That's a very bizarre put together.
That's bizarre.
So I'm gonna say that's the real.
That's the cap. If a team only scored 2 points and let's get a safety in the Super Bowl, they should just get an NFC ring back and start over. But no, it was a field goal though. They only scored 3 points.
That's just as bad.
It's not though. It's better than 2. Well, let's move it on. The last one. The lowest amount of rushing yard allowed in a Super Bowl game was 7 yards. This was the Chicago versus the New England Bears in 1985. Chicago Bears versus New England Patriots in 1975. 1985.
Bro, that's Mike Ditka's defense. That's the real. I already know that.
That's one of the best defense.
That's 4-6. Ain't nothing getting past that.
That's the real, man. That defense was nasty. But yeah, that wraps up our Let's Be Real segment, Super Bowl edition. I think what you go 3 for 5, 2 out of 5.
It wasn't good, whatever it was. I try to hold myself to high standard. That was pretty. I gotta do my homework. Do my homework.
Let's be real.
Yo, since it is Black History Month, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all
the shortest month of the year.
The shortest month, man. It's Black History Month is every month for me, so I don't even. You know what I'm saying?
Dr. Umar right there.
Dr. Umar, yeah. But let me go and get into this Black History Facts Super Bowl edition. In 1920, the first African American player to play in the Super Bowl, aka the championship back then, was Fritz Pollard. He played running back. He was from Brown University. Shout out to my boy Lane. He goes there now. It was 1920. In the following year, he became the first black NFL head coach. Head coach in 1921.
And then we have more Black history in the Super Bowl this year. We had the entire Tampa Bay Buccaneers coordinating staff. We had Todd Bowles, you had Keith Armstrong, you had Byron Leftwich. 2 of those guys, so I think rightfully so, should be in the head coaching discussion. But again,
in the head coaching discussion.
Right, my Dr. Umar on that one too.
But he gotta get a head coach.
Yeah, he called a heck of a game in the Super Bowl, man. I definitely think he deserves. Even with Jameis Winston, he had Jameis throw for 5,000 yards. So, I definitely think Todd Bowles and I think Byron Leftwich definitely deserve head coaching jobs in the NFL
for sure.
But going forward in the podcast, man, we had a great episode today. This was a lot of fun. It's our first episode. But we definitely would love to hear the feedback from you guys. So feel free to leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe to our social media pages from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. We'll have those links in the description for you guys. Just let us know whatever topics that you want to talk about. We have a lot of stuff. We talk sports all the time.
Literally every day.
But we would love to hear whatever feedback or whatever topics you want us to talk about. We would love to hear that. We're gonna have some interviews going forward in the future. Like I said, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys leave comments. Let us know what you guys want to talk about.
And any Nashville legend or anybody really that y'all would like to see on here, just let us know. We got some stuff up our sleeve as far as interviews too, so we just gonna keep working, man, and putting out some content. So y'all just, hit us up, let us know.
And then, it was a great episode today. That's all we got for you guys, man. Let's be real.
Let's be real. Yeah. Let's be real. Yeah. I am not worried about what you've been talking. I